In this short version video, I will only highlight the main topics about Lean Apps method. For bigger details, check on the long version at the bottom of this page. Lean Apps method is meant only for Oracle EBS projects, regardless it's an upgrade, an implementation, or a rollout. It includes project management, change management, and program governance areas. Let's first take a look on an upgrade according to the Lean Apps method. An upgrade is about doing several simulations to guarantee new version is stable. So in every upgrade project, we usually execute 2 or 3 simulations, sometimes even 4, depending on some variables. A simulation can be divided in 4 steps. First, we execute pre-upgrade steps in the current version, cleaning temporary tables by completing pending transactions. For instance, we cannot have a PO under approval. Cleaning interface tables by posting everything, adjusting profiles, and closing all periods. Then, we have the technical upgrade itself, where the DBA applies all patches and drivers using standard Oracle utilities for that. After this, EBS is already in the new version, where the project team needs to execute the post-upgrade steps, altering setups to reflect the new version and adjusting profiles. Once everything's set as supposed, we need to test the new version over and over again to make sure there is no bug that could impact the daily operation. Upgrading to a version that is not stable yet could mean longer periods of tests. In the last simulation, we need to time each step executed in the pre-upgrade, in the technical upgrade, and in the post-upgrade steps to plan for production. Lean Apps method considers the company organizational environment in order to define the best approach. We may have a client with high governance, which means that the organization controls all the RISO elements and understand what functionalities and features they address combined. Or we may have a client with a low governance, which means that the company may even know what custom objects they have in the database, but they are not aware of what custom objects sum up to what customization in order to evaluate and figure out whether a customization should be laid off or migrated to the new version. Oracle has 3 utilities, 3 standard reports, which are very handy to analyze changes, and they should be used in upgrade projects. First one is called the Data Model Comparison Report, used to evaluate changes of database objects between 2 versions. It contains filters to query by object types, such as tables, views, packages, and etc. Second utility is the See Difference Report, used to evaluate changes of application objects between 2 versions, such as profiles, value sets, flex fields, and etc. And the third is the File Comparison Report, used to evaluate changes of files between 2 versions. If you need further information on such reports, check on Doc ID 1290886.1 at MetaLink website. Now let's take a look at Lean Apps method for upgrades shown in a timeline format. Every project must have a good initiation phase to map business benefits that are expected to achieve aligned with the project objective. The project planning starts from the project objective and business benefits mapped in a method I will show you in a while. A mature closure phase is also an important part of the project governance, not only to get project acceptance and map lessons learned, but mainly to communicate to senior manager what are the business benefits that the project delivered. Within the project life cycle for an upgrade project, we have 4 phases. First one is assessment, where we evaluate new features and functionalities that will be implemented. The idea here is to prioritize only those new features that are really important for the corporate strategy, and not all of those nice to have. In this phase, we also appreciate and understand what customization should be laid off because they will be replaced by new core functionalities, and what customizations will be migrated to the new version. Second phase is build and simulation, where all the simulation upgrades take place. We have here all the tests, all the updates of the old customizations, and the biggest part, the biggest phase of the project. Third phase is transition, where we train users in the new navigability, perform user validation tests, convert all custom menus and responsibilities, deploy all updated custom objects that will continue in the new release, and upgrade production. And fourth phase is production, where we sustain the system for a short period of time and provide final knowledge transfer to the client's personnel. We have 8 processes being considered in an upgrade project according to Lean Apps method. They are management and governance, which is not a process but an area that I will show in a while. Functional and technical analysis. Simulation, which in this case I'm showing 2 simulations, but as I said, we could have 3 and even 4 depending on some variables. Update interface, update customizations, training and user validation, cutover and handover takeover. In order to understand tips and characteristics of each of those processes, check the long version of this video at the bottom of this web page. Now let's take a look at Lean Apps method for implementation, showing in a timeline format. Just as Lean Apps method for upgrades, an implementation also includes a mature initiation and closing process phases. Within the project lifecycle, first phase is CRP1, and the first conference room pilot is meant to define detailed solution that will go live. The consultants must present a pre-configured vanilla instance along with the macro business flows and the high-level apps architecture showing what the different modules interact among themselves. The idea behind the business flows and the high-level apps architecture is to help key users picture the overall solution before digging into details within the visual instance. CRP1 should not contain specific setups addressed to the client. It should be a fast phase in order to prioritize the approved gap list and to define system setups. Then we have CRP2, which purpose is to test the vanilla solution configured for the client. So at this phase, setups are executed to reflect the future solution for the client, and the system is intensively tested to search for bugs and fix them. Gaps should be specified in this phase, starting with the interface that should be the first ones to finish being developed. CRP3 is meant to test and validate the entire solution, including all customizations, extensions, interface, data conversion, scripts, reports, and workflows that were developed. Fourth phase is transition, and this is where users are trained and validate the system. Cutover plan is executed and the system is deployed to production. Then we have the final phase, which is production, which purpose is to decommission any legacy system and co-support the system along with the client's personnel. We have some process within Lean Apps method for implementation as well. First one, as I said, it's not a process but an area that we will see in a while, is called management and governance. The next process are business definition, system configuration, data conversion, rise to development, testing, training and user validation, cutover, and handover takeover. In order to understand in deeper details each one of those processes, check the long version of this Lean Apps method video at the bottom of this page. Now we'll see the main area in which Lean Apps method provides the biggest value. It's called management and governance. This area is divided in 3 knowledge areas. First one is portfolio governance, second is change management, and third is project management. governance and management area is probably the biggest value that Lean Apps method can deliver to your company. It is divided in 3 process groups. First one is called portfolio governance, which has 3 processes. First one is benefits management. The project objective and expected benefits will drive the project plan and will be used along the project for prioritization in case of conflict should arise. Second process is portfolio integration, which includes both the IT project portfolio and the governance frameworks such as ITIL, SOX, quality, and CODIT. We need to understand what process, policy, and templates must be followed for the other frameworks in order to figure out how to address that in our project. And finally, project promotion. Top executives, they do not want to know what features and functionalities were implemented at the end of the project. They need to know what are the benefits their company will get from those features and functionalities. Lean Apps method has interesting templates and visual techniques for both mapping the benefits and showing them at the end of the project. Second business process is called change management. And unlike many people may think, change management is not limited to training and communication. Even though those 2 things are very important, change management has to do with organizational culture. And culture means how things are done in the organization and how decisions are made. Lean Apps method suggests 3 different steps for change management. First one is to evaluate. Means that we need to understand the influence and impact of the main stakeholders. We have an interest matrix that will help you assess that in order to figure out what is the best approach. Second is to understand the organizational culture. We may not be able to change the entire culture. We need to understand and leverage the project management in order to achieve the project objectives. Second is implement, which means to use internal culture to leverage change. We need to know what makes people confident and proud of working in the company, and we must use those good things in order to achieve project success. And second is to use those special forces in the roles assignments. We need to put the correct people in the correct places. And third is manage. We use special techniques to gather buy-in, meaning special games, dynamics, and visual tools. And we must adopt a problem escalation process in order to address and take off the way all the rocks and obstacles that could arise. So generally speaking, change management at Lean Apps method can be divided into problem escalation, roles and responsibility, stakeholder management, and project buy-in. And at last, we have the project management process groups, which is not much different than any project management method. It includes scope, cost, time, risk, quality, and communication management. The only thing is that we have interesting templates which are very lean and very objective in order to help you plan, execute the plan, control variance, and act to interfere positively in your project. As you can see, Lean Apps method has useful templates and efficient techniques. It provides real governance to assume adequate system ownership after go live. It mitigates conflicts in a matrix global organization. It's easy to use and understand. It's tailored for your needs. We advise you to consider the correct techniques and templates. And I provide professional training coaching to use it correctly. Don't get lost in thousands and hundreds of templates and useless techniques. Contact me. Keep your project as simple as possible and act smart. Learn Lean Apps method. Thank you for watching this video. I suggest you to watch the long version and to contact me for any information you might need. Thank you.